Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today for a little yoga. As you can see, I'm at the cottage, and so I don't have a structured routine that I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to get on the mat, flow for a little bit, and hopefully it makes sense and you can follow along. All right, let's get started. Coming to a comfortable seat on your mat. No need to clean your feet here if you don't want to. Get comfy, and when you're ready, close your eyes and take a deep breath in, focusing on the air entering your lungs and abdomen, then exhale, feeling the air leave your belly and then your lungs. Inhale and draw your shoulders up to your ears, holding them there as you continue to inhale. Exhale, pushing all the air out of your belly and drop your shoulders. Inhale, drawing your shoulders up to your ears, holding. Exhale and drop your shoulders. Inhale one more time, draw your shoulders up to your ears, holding. Exhale, release. Inhale and circle your shoulders up to your ears, exhaling as your shoulders drop back down. Big exaggerated circles moving with each inhale and each exhale. Change directions, inhaling, drawing your shoulders back and circling them up to your ears. Exhale and continue the circle forward. Bring your hands in front of you and interlace your fingers, left wrist over right, and inhale, stretching your arms up overhead. Exhale, lowering your hands by bending your elbows and pushing them back. Inhale, reaching your hands up. Exhale and lower them down. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, feeling it in your sides. Exhale, bend at the elbows and press back. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, twist to your right, releasing your hands, placing your right hand behind you and the back of your left hand on the outside of your knee. Inhale, feeling the pull of the crown of your head upwards. Exhale, sink into your twist. Take another breath here. Exhale, coming back to center. Interlace your fingers, this time right wrist over left, and inhale, stretching your arms overhead. Exhale, lowering your hands by bending your elbows and pushing them back. Inhale, reaching your hands up. Exhale, lowering them down. Inhale, reach hands overhead. Exhale, twist to your left, releasing your hands, placing your left hand on the ground behind you and the back of your right hand on the outside of your knee. Deep breath in, feeling the crown of your head floating up. Exhale, sinking into your twist. Take 2 more breaths here. Exhale, coming back to center, drop your chin to your chest for a neck stretch. Inhale, tilting your head up to the sky, keeping your shoulders down and away from your ears. Exhale, drop your chin to chest, exaggerated yes motions. Inhale, coming back to center, drop your right ear to your shoulder, hold there for a beat, then turn your head to look down towards your right armpit. Inhale and come back up to center. Exhale, dropping your left ear to your shoulder, hold for a beat, and then turn your head to look down towards your left armpit. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale, dropping your chin to chest. Take this time to focus on your breath. Inhale, tilting your head up, looking to the sky, keeping your shoulders down and away from your ears. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest, noticing if your neck feels a little different than when we first started. Slowly bring your head back to center, place your right hand on the mat beside you, and inhale, sweeping your left hand up overhead for a seated side bend. Turn your head and look up to the sky for a bit of a neck stretch. Exhale, move over to the other side by lowering your left hand back down to the mat and sweeping your right hand up overhead. Looking up to the sky, take a deep breath in. Exhale, sweeping your arms back to the other side, feeling the stretch in your left side body. Deep breath in. Exhale, windmill your arms back to the other side for a deep stretch on your right side again. Turn your head and look up to the sky, allowing your right arm to float down, stopping when it's parallel to the mat. Keeping your ear to your shoulder, come back to center as if you're being pulled by your hand. Grab a strap or whatever you use to tie your yoga mat and turn to face the short end of your mat. Coming into staff pose, straighten your legs out in front of you, engaging your quads, toes pointed towards the ceiling, pressing out through the heels. Back is straight. With a wide grip on the strap, arms in front with the strap resting on your thighs, inhale and windmill your arms up and then backward for gentle shoulder dislocates. Go as far back as feels comfortable, exhaling as you lower. Inhale and circle your arms back in front of you. Let's move with our breath. Inhaling as you reach up, exhaling as you lower, circling forward and backward, moving at your own pace and only going as far as feels comfortable. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower down. Wrap the strap around the balls of your feet and secure your grip on the strap. Roll your shoulders down and back. Exhale and tilt forward at the top of your hips, tightening your grip on the strap as you lean, keeping your quads engaged. Take this time to come back to your breath. Hook the strap around your left foot and widen your legs, bending your right knee and bringing the bottom of your foot in to touch your left thigh. Tilt your hips forward and lower your torso down, walking your hands forward on the strap. Take a few breaths here. Unhook your foot and switch over to the other side, wrapping the strap around the ball of your right foot and bringing the sole of your left foot in to touch your right thigh. Tilt your hips forward, lowering down and tightening your grip on the strap. Unhook your foot and set the strap to the side. Plant the soles of your feet on the mat, bend at the knees, and roll down onto your back. Keeping the bend in your knees, lift your legs, making your shins parallel to the floor, and tilt the top of your hips back so your low back is glued to the mat. Reach your hands to the ceiling, straightening your arms. Place your right hand on your left knee, applying pressure and counteracting the pressure with your knee. Reach your left arm up overhead and straighten your right leg, pointing your fingers and toes for dead bug. Come back to starting position and tap your right knee with your left hand, keeping your low back glued to the mat by engaging your core. We'll do this 5 times total. Engage and straighten, bend your knee and tap. Keeping your legs in the same position, this time press your left hand onto your right knee. Straighten your right arm up overhead and reach your left leg for dead bug on the other side. Bring your knee back to starting position and tap it with your right hand. Straighten and lengthen, bend and tap. Reach your heels to the ceiling and straighten your legs. Take a deep breath in and on your exhale, lower your legs down to the ground a couple inches. Hold, inhale, and on your exhale, lower your legs down a little more. Inhale, holding your legs. Exhale, lower your legs. Again, inhale, hold. Exhale, lower, keeping your low back glued to the mat. Bring your legs back to the starting position with your heels pressing up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and lower your legs down a couple inches. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Keeping your core engaged. Exhale, lowering down so your legs are hovering over the mat. Inhale and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left knee for a piriformis stretch. Push your right knee away from you for more of a stretch. Toes pointed towards your shin. Come back to your breath. Bring your left knee towards your chest, interlacing your fingers behind your leg. Roll your ankle in circles if that feels good for you. Deep breaths here, feeling the rise and fall of your belly and chest. Release both legs, planting the soles of your feet on the mat. Cross your left ankle over your right knee this time, pointing your toes towards your shins. Lift your right leg and interlace your fingers behind your leg, rolling your ankle if that feels good for you. Release both legs and plant your feet on the mat, keeping your knees bent. Scoot your heels towards your body so your fingers can just graze your heels. Inhale and raise your hips towards the sky for a glute bridge. Exhale and lower back down. Inhale, pressing your heels through the mat, pressing your hips up towards the ceiling. Hold. Exhale and lower back down. 4 more. Inhale, raising your hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, lowering down using your glutes. Inhale, engaging your glutes. Exhale and lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, raise your knees, hugging them to your chest. Circle your knees to give your low back a massage. Rock your knees towards you, holding on, and roll up to a seated position. To move into a 90-90 position, face the short end of your mat and keep your knees bent. Drop your front knee to the floor in front of you, making an L shape and bringing your other leg out to the side, placing your foot behind you so your legs are each in a 90-degree angle. Point your toes towards your shins. Inhale, floating the top of your head upwards. Exhale, bend at your hips and walk your hands forward, keeping your back straight. Take a breath here. Inhale, coming back up to center and lean backwards this time, using your hands as a brace. Come back to center and twist your torso towards your back leg. Take a breath here. Inhale, coming back to center and twist the opposite way. Come back to your breath. Exhale, coming back to center, keeping your feet touching the floor, flip your legs and face the opposite end of your mat. Adjust so your legs are in 90-degree angles with toes pointed towards your shins. Inhale, floating the top of your head upwards. Exhale, bend at your hips and walk your hands forward, keeping your back straight. Option here to lower down onto your forearms if that feels good for you. Inhale, rise back up and walk your hands behind you, leaning backwards. Feel the stretch in your hips. Inhale, coming back to center and turn towards your back leg, looking behind you for a neck stretch. Take a breath here. Inhale, twisting to the other side. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink into your twist. Slowly come back to your starting position. Fan your knees and roll over your legs to face the short end of your mat and come into a tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Inhale, tilting your hips and head up to the sky for cow. Exhale, spreading your shoulder blades and curving your spine for cat. Picture an angry Halloween cat here. Inhale, looking up to the sky and tilting your hips, feeling your belly lower down to the mat. Exhale, back to cat, curving your spine and pushing your hands through the mat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, coming back to neutral, tuck your toes, push through the mat, and lift your knees off the ground, hovering just a couple inches above the mat. Hold here, keeping your core engaged. Staying lifted, step your feet back one at a time to plank position, squeezing your thighs in towards your midline. Step your feet forward one at a time back to the knee hover position. Staying lifted, step your feet back one at a time to plank position again, pressing your hands through the mat. Step your feet forward one at a time back to the knee hover position and release your knees back down to the mat. Walk your hands forward and send your hips back for child's pose. Come back to your breath, focusing on the air entering your nose, traveling through your body, and leaving through your mouth. Feel the stretch in your arms, the curve of your spine, and the rise and fall of your back with every breath. Inhale and come back up to tabletop, stretching your legs behind you into plank pose, ensuring your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Shift forward on your toes and bend at the elbows, lowering down into chaturanga. Untuck your toes and press into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, sliding your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog by bending at the knee, alternating sides. Inhale, looking at your hands, step your right foot forward. Stack your knee over your ankle, press your thighs in together, and reach both hands up overhead for high lunge. Take a breath here, then drop your back heel, pointing your toes at a 45-degree angle for Warrior 1. Hips square to the top of your mat. Pivot your back heel and point your toes to the long end of your mat, straightening your arms out in front and behind you for Warrior 2. Check in on your arms, making sure they're parallel to the floor and your front knee is stacked directly over your ankle. Shift your weight to your front foot and lift your back foot off the mat, reaching it out behind you for Warrior 3. Option here to keep your arms to your sides or stretch them forward in a Superman position. With your body in one long line, try to maintain balance, pressing your heel back behind you and focusing on a single point in your eye line. Drop your back foot, toes pointed to the long end of your mat, and return to Warrior 2. Pivot both feet to the opposite end of your mat, staying in Warrior 2, but facing the opposite way you just were. Check in on the positioning of your arms and your front knee. Deep breaths. Transfer your weight to your front foot and lift your back foot off the mat, reaching it out behind you for Warrior 3. Find balance in the four corners of your foot. Option here to keep your arms to your sides or stretch them forward in a Superman position. Keep your core tight, your body in one long line. Drop your back foot, this time planting your heel and pointing your toes out in a 45-degree angle with arms reaching up overhead for Warrior 1. Front knee is stacked directly over your ankle. Tuck your toes and windmill your arms to the floor, planting your hands and stepping back to a plank position. Shift forward and bend at the elbows, lowering down into chaturanga. Untuck your toes and press into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, sliding your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog by bending at the knee, alternating sides. For our final pose, drop your knees to tabletop position, untuck your toes, place your knees on the edges of your mat, and stretch your arms in front of you for child's pose. Take this time to come back to your breath, focusing on the air entering your nose, expanding your rib cage and filling your abdomen, and exiting through your mouth. Take as many breaths here as you want and come back to your breath often throughout your day, carrying calm and clarity.